Hey guys, Huzz here, bringing you another commentary, this time on Riven top lane. Now this game is quite unusual in a way. I'm against a Warwick top who is Diamond, and there are a few Diamonds in this game. It is a normal, but as I say in the past, my MMR is normal is quite high, so yes, I do get rated against Diamonds and Platinums, even in normal games. Now, as many of you know, Riven is a hyper carry that has a relatively weak early game, but as the game progresses, she becomes, pretty damn good. Now, excuse the occasional tabbing out, you guys know the drill, this is the VOD from the stream. Now, I know a lot of people have said you can fix LoL replay, I am looking into it, so hopefully in the next couple of days I can get the LoL replay working again, and then I actually can get back to do common mistakes, as that is the reason for the delay. Riven versus Warwick top. As I said, it is a unusual lane. I'm not amazingly sure who should win it. Riven, I would say, would win it late game, mid to late game. Warwick probably has the advantage quite early, as you'll probably see that I do the occasional dirt moment in this game. But it's me. Everybody has dirt moments, so it just happens. You have to accept them and just continue with the game. So we have Fiddle in the jungle, excuse me for that. We have Fiddle in the jungle this game. We actually have a Nunu mid versus Cassiopeia. He wanted to go for a kind of sustain mid. So as Cassiopeia pokes people down with Harass, Nunu with a Q would be able to just consume and get his health all the way back up. That's what his thought process was. It worked out okay. Not amazing mid laner in my opinion, but it worked semi-okay. Starting on the Wolves, obviously helping the Fiddle just basically complete them. Now these 4 gold, it doesn't really matter that much who gets it, just to help this Fiddle get the early experience. I back off a little bit, don't want to take that, but then I do actually pick up both little wolves because I underestimate my damage. Nunu heads to mid as he doesn't help on the blue buff, which is a bit annoying, but I do help Fiddle. Fiddle is a pretty quick clear on a single buff like this, so I give him quite a lot of damage, and then I head top lane. Now, as you can see, my starting items, I did go for the Rejuve Bead into 4 health potions and 2 wards, and I'm against a Warwick who has a Doran's Ring. Now, I do believe this Warwick would have either done the double golems up top or wraiths, simply because he came into lane a little bit, less, and there you go. He's killed like 2 minions, and he's level 2. So you're about to see, or relatively soon, you're going to see my first dirt moment, and one of my very few dirt moments of this game. I actually go quite aggressive on this guy, thinking, he's not going to do that much damage, and then he ignites me, minion aggro, and I basically just totally derp out and die, flashes burn, and finish me off with Q. So obviously he leveled his E after his Q to chase me. So dirt moment by my bad, I'm already 0-0, gave away first blood really quickly. So yeah, dirt moment by me. I'm sure there's going to be a couple comments in the comments section below saying that was really bad play, which it was. Now I buy myself a second Rejuve Bead, and basically what I want to do against this Warwick is survive. Now it's going to be relatively hard to do that now, considering that I've already given away first blood. But the advantage is we both have burnt summoners, so now it's just basically down to base damage, which a Riven should win. Now, sure, I don't have a lot of damage at the moment, but the Warwick has decided to stay, and that could be a mistake on his part. I would have based straight away. If you get first blood, in the end of the day, that's 400 gold. Go spend it, and yeah, you're an item up. You could have got another Doran's Ring, you could have got an Amp Tome, depending what you want to do on Warwick. And yeah, so I just returned to lane, trying to get level 2 as quick as possible. Now, my familiarity, how familiar I am with Riven, I'm fairly familiar. Now, as you can see, the Riven is... I'm getting harassed as Riven here by the Warwick, which is a bit of annoying, but it's to be expected. I've already given him first blood, and he's already 2 levels now ahead of me. But as I was saying, Riven, I am fairly familiar with her. I haven't played her a whole lot myself, but someone on my team has played her quite a lot, and obviously I've watched quite a lot of Riven, relatively soon because of the best Riven NA. I watched quite a lot of their matches. So even though it is like a 1v1, never would happen really in the normal situation because they don't have to worry about junglers, they use odd summon spells, that type of thing, you do learn about the mechanics. In mid lane there was a little fight going on, obviously both of the junglers dying, so there's, I think, both of the buffs gone. I got a bit aggressive on the Warwick, trying to get him a little bit low, trying to make him go back or something, just to get him off my back so I can have free CS, free XP. So right now I'm just going to be CSing. Now, one thing you want to note about Riven, every single interval of her Q should be auto-attacking. Now, here's a point. Warwick obviously does not know I have a ward here, so I will be going deep on him. And now, here's a big mistake. He's in his shop right now, just casually looking what he wants to buy, and basically he's going to give me a free kill, which is always nice. Now he tries to get me low enough so he can start running away with his E, but obviously cannot get away in time, and that's a free kill for me. So that's really good, a really big mistake by the Warwick. You know, obviously he didn't know I had a ward there, but that's generally where I ward when I'm top lane. I always ward in that bush, as it's quite a safe place to ward. You can just stay in lane and ward it, you know, quite safely. And then if the Udit is in that bush, I will be in lane at the other side of the corner. So then, you know, he will see me ward and I can just run away. Obviously, I kill Warwick, so I'm going to push the lane, trying to deny this guy XP and farm, which is pretty good job of doing. That's a lot of XP there he's going to miss. Base after this, and I'm going to make, you know, purchase my first couple items. Now, some of you may question what build I do this game. I saw this build on a stream, and I thought, you know, I'm going to try it out, see how it goes, that type of thing. But I also wanted sustain against this Warwick. Warwick is just going to keep poking me down. He has sustain of his own. I might be able to burst him at 6, but I do want to have that sustain. So I go for 2 rejuve beads into the vamp setter, and I will be building a really early Ravenous Hydra, which obviously will give me the attack speed, not the attack speed, the attack reset, which I do get with Q. But I do want the Ravenous Hydra for the AoE so I can push the wave, because Warwick does not do great pushing his wave. He is a single target champion, so that might be something to, you know, note against a Warwick. AoE the wave down and then go somewhere else on the map. Bot lane they get a kill, so we're done to the bot lane. I ward there again just to get some vision. Now the Warwick is trying to, you know, harass me here. I'm just doing a bit of damage. As you can see, my damage is starting to do, you know, quite a bit to him. I get him just under half health, and he gets me to about 2/3 in that little trade. He hits level 6 and goes aggressive straight on me. I just make my way out. So that is Ignite and his ultimate burn, but I am in a pretty, you know, tricky situation here. 1 Q and I might be dead, so I'm just chugging my health potions. Now, you really shouldn't stack health potions the way I just did then. I just did it in, you know, I need all of them to get full health. Going to use my shield to negate most of his damage on his Q. Now, I got my ultimate myself, so the Warwick might be looking to dive. I popped my ultimate early, basically just to say, Warwick, go away, and it does actually work. So I'm going to farm up this wave, get all that CS. That's one thing with Riven that I really do like. She's pretty damn easy to CS with in, you know, big, you know, clumps. Our blue buff is up, so I have a really funny theory that Warwick's going to be there, and he is, obviously, trying to get that blue buff for himself, as that will give him quite a lot of advantage, CDR and mana regen. He goes aggressive on me, and I'm basically just delaying him as much as I can off this blue. As you can see on the mini-map at the bottom right, the Nunu and the Fiddlesticks are on their way. Now, he can see I'm coming around, so he does actually like look to come back for me, but then he notices the Nunu. So, yeah, it's going to be a hard, tricky lane. Obviously, right now I am 1-1, he's 1-1, but he is ahead on CS somewhat, and obviously he does have poke on me. I'm going to pick up the boots just so I'm a little bit, you know, faster, pick up 1 health potion, and make my way back up to top. Now, people will ask, when can I run Riven? What type of team comp can I run Riven in? Generally, most things that have tank lines you can run Riven in. You have to remember Riven is a hyper carry damage. Now, building Riven as a tank or tanky, in my own opinion, is kind of a waste, because she can blow up people late game. Just let her do her job and she'll clean up. So have a good tank line, have like a tanky jungler. Now, in this match, it isn't perfect. I simply just wanted to play Riven this game, and Galzuk just wanted to play Fiddle. So in a normal game, we don't take team comps that seriously. But in a proper rank game, if we were to run Riven top, we'd probably have something like a Nautilus or a Cho'Gath in the jungle. Make the Warwick basically just get off me a lot of the time, and this Warwick is going quite aggressive. He ults me again, trying to do as much damage as he can on me, and I just do a little bit of damage to him, but just back off. So he is kind of winning the trade still in this lane. Now I'm going to try and just, you know, I've got quite a lot of regen right now. I've got the rejuve beads going. As you can see at the bottom, my, you know, rejuve count is 13.8 seconds, and I think that's per 5. But then I decide to go aggressive on the Warwick, hit my ultimate, and the Ignite gets him. So pretty good by myself, using my Riven ult, obviously with the execute. For those who don't know, the lower the target is, and on Riven, or the lower the opponent is, it's like Garen ult, the more damage it will do at the end. So I got the Warwick quite low, and then just finished him off with the ultimate and Ignite. So now I'm 2-1 ahead of him in kills, but still relatively behind him in CS. I think it's about a 10 gap. Now I'll be building my team out. I've obviously got the Vamp Scepter already, the other part of Ravenous Hydra. And as I said near the beginning, I will be going for rather a sustain kind of build against this Warwick. Well done to mid lane, they get a kill on the Cassiopeia. Now, people looking at this video, if you're against Cassiopeia, I really wouldn't recommend Nunu. We knew everybody in this game apart from the Nunu. I personally don't know the Vayne, but Patsy, who was our support, has met him in a random match or an ARAM or something, and he's pretty decent, so we invited him along. Warwick has picked up Sork boots, which is it's a questionable pickup. Like, I understand building AP on Warwick early because it just gives him so much mana regen, it gives him harass early, it makes him a nightmare early on to deal with, especially as a melee up top. But you know, his damage does fall off AP wise, so I wouldn't build him for pure AP. He does his full combo on me, Ignite and Ultimate, I flash away and do manage to get away. So now I do know that he's got everything down. He was basically going for a kill there because I killed him before. He knew that I didn't have anything up. Now, sorry about this brief lag. I don't know what that was. Obviously, just something with the stream. So I'm going to just regen up and head back up to top. Now, this game is kind of a pretty good game. We will see how it progresses through the rest of the game. But when I think Riven's strength is not in lane. Riven's strength is kind of when she gets out of lane, when she can start picking off objectives, when she can start just picking off people in general, go behind, gank a mid lane, that type of thing. That's when Riven, in my opinion, gets quite good. When she gets a couple of items under her belt and she can just freely do what she wants. Now, Warwick is coming back into top. Get a stun on him and do some damage to see how much I can do to him. Just trying to get as much damage on him as possible, but I end up going just back for CS. So CS-wise at this point, I'm at 50 odd at 12 minutes, which is not great. I always criticise myself whenever possible, as that's how you improve. And my CS at this point should be nearly double, maybe about 80. I'd say would be a good, place to be. But obviously, there's been a couple of times I've had to base at certain times. A couple of times I've died. Now Fiddle is in the top bush. We're baiting a fight out here, but Udyr, as you can see, is moving in. Fiddle comes in, stun, get the Warwick in all the damage, pop my ultimate and finish him off. Going for the Udyr, but he is a bit too quick, so we're just going to push up this wave. Now, either one of two things will happen. We're going to force Udyr off this tower so they miss all this golden XP, or we're going to get the kill. So we do decide to just, make him go away. And I do a bit of damage to the tower, basically. I do want to have this tower, but I do want the minions to die as well. So I'm just going to move on to the next wave and, take all this CS. Free wave, obviously nothing contesting. No minions to take a last hit by accident, that type of thing. So this is all free CS in between towers. While this is happening, my minions on the tower are taking it. So you're going to see right now, the tower is about to drop to minions. And all that XP and gold this Warwick is missing. He's probably missed about a wave or so by the tower killing it. Now my skill order on Riven, I have chose to max my shield after my Q. That will allow me to have a bit more, a bit more tankiness, a bit more sustain because I can just negate his Q with my shield. Nunu did a bit of random jumping into tower range to try and get an E onto the Cassiopeia, I believe. Ends up backing off. Now, bot lane, here comes a pretty good skirmish. It does not look good for our bot lane, but here we go. Vayne mechanics, trying to do as much as he can. Now, if he should be continued to shoot here. Now, that bolt, in my opinion, should have killed Caitlyn. I don't know how it didn't kill her. She had 2 bolts, unless it didn't hit, or I don't know. But yeah, it should have hit. Nunu going on for a kill on the Cass and does pick it up, so well played by our Nunu. Going to head back up to top. Now, this is a bit of FPS lag. Don't know really what's going on. It's just something with the stream. Now, what normal top laners do, or what I think a not very good top laner does, is they literally stay top all game. And yeah, it's not a very good technique. A top laner, in my opinion, should take the initiative on when to not go top, roam, help the team, go for dragon or just make calls. A lot of time in solo queue, the top laner says, let's do dragon. They say, let's do dragon, and then they head to dragon themselves, expecting the team to follow them. Now, not amazing top laners don't do this. or top laners that don't have much, experience don't do this. But, I'm not calling myself an amazing top laner, as it's not a role I play a lot of the time. But I do try to roam. I do try to make like calls of going for objectives when I've just based, as that's when I'm my most strongest. Getting all this CS, obviously Warwick does not want to fight me. He doesn't go the direct route. He goes all the way around. And I am pushing this quite hard. Pushing it hard means I can basically take this free CS in their jungle, which is quite, little nice XP bonus and some gold. But it will also allow me, if I'm pushing this hard, to go roam, gank the Cassiopeia, look for the Udyr in the jungle, that type of thing. But if no one contests me against this Warwick, I probably will get this tier 2 turret pretty damn soon, as I am starting to become a lot stronger than this Warwick. Now I'm going to pick up my Ravenous Hydra. Good kill on bot lane, but this Udyr is actually quite a terror. Udyr, he did get changed a little bit. He's still very viable, and he's still damn strong if you build a bit of damage on him. Gauntlet on an Udyr is hella strong. Because of your your bear form, you have that speed with the stun, but then with Gauntlet, nobody's going to get rid of you. You're just going to keep slowing them, keep stunning them, and keep doing damage with Tiger or Phoenix. Now they're going for Dragon. I am in the area, so is Fiddle, so we're going to see if we can do anything. If they were to stay on this Dragon, we would probably easily kill them, but they do have it warded somewhere, so they do decide to back off. Now I am contemplating, or we are contemplating, doing this Dragon right now, but Gals just says he doesn't have Smite for around a minute. He just did red buff, so did Smite it. Now, nobody's going to do this Dragon right now. There's too much heat on it, so I do go to just the mid lane, and eventually will work my way back top as the lane is pushing towards my tower. Now, the pathing in League of Legends is a bit dodgy. Sometimes you literally have to draw the path you want in order to go the right way. I didn't really want to go all the way through River, because that would be kind of the long route. So, yep, just head through the lane near my blue area, and going to get all this lovely CS. Obviously, with the Tiamat, or Ravenous Hydra now, rather, I will be doing AoE, so this allows me to push the wave even more. This is one of the things why I like Ravenous Hydra on champions like Riven and Lee Sin. They have, AoE anyway, but having that extra AoE allows you just to push like a madman against someone who is single target. Now, I wouldn't really build this if I was against Cho'Gath, if I was against something that is AoE, because they could just push it against me. Where Warwick is single target, I will have the ability just to push it way quicker than he does with this Ravenous Hydra. Fight going down near mid lane, Fiddle ult coming in. Warwick is right behind me, so I am going to probably turn on him. As you can see, I get the LOS, and now he didn't know I was, really there. So I do decide to fight. I do flash, use my ult, but I don't believe it's enough. Udyr also moves into the vicinity of fighting me. This Udyr does a lot of damage. He nearly kill him, but unfortunately both of them get out, but both being low. So this enables me just to kind of get their race for free and head back top lane. Now, Patsy, who's playing Thresh this game, does say, we could probably kill this Lulu. Now, I don't want to be greedy. I'd rather just take the CS and get ahead, and that's what I'll do. I'm going to push up top wave even more, basically making the Warwick stay top, so that enables me to go help in fight situations, go get dragons, that type of thing. Warwick's just heading back to me. He is getting a bit tanky now. Obviously, he does have that bit of AP, a bit of sustain, but he is building a Frozen Heart, which is arguable against a Riven in lane, but he may be looking towards more the late game. Obviously, we do have a Vayne on our team, which Frozen Heart against her is wonderful, because attack speed on Vayne is amazing with her W, so having that debuff with Frozen Heart is a really good pickup against Vayne, but against a Riven, it's not amazing. Sure, the armor's okay, but I don't really benefit from attack speed. I'm an attack speed... I'm an attack reset champion. I auto attack, use my Q, attack reset, attack again, use Q again, that type of thing. Thresh has found himself not in a great situation, going to get surrounded here by the Udyr. But we are moving in from back, so there is going to be a small team fight here. Top lane is still pushing, so Warwick may have to go there, but I do believe he does end up coming. Now, I'm in the middle of this team fight. Obviously not very tanky right now, but moving in to try and help my team. I ultimate the Udyr, getting him low, and we do end up getting that kill. Cassiopeia pretty low on the old mana there. Pick up the kill on her, and Warwick has now joined the fight. I am now on a rampage. Obviously, I did give away that first blood, but now
4-1. I do go aggressive on these two up here. Warwick goes quite deep for the Vayne. I do think he flashed for that, but does end up dying eventually. He does use his flash, or he just uses flash then. So I think he just ultimated on to the Vayne. So overall, an okay trade. I think it was either 2 for 2 or 2 for 3 in our favour there. Nobody took Dragon. So it's still, contested for when everybody gets back healthy. But that does allow me to get my Brutalizer, which will help me against the Warwick armor, as well as other armors like Udyr has armor on him and that type of thing. I'm going to head up back top lane, just make sure this is constantly pushed near their tier 2 tower, as that's what I want Warwick to be. It allows me to keep roaming. If you have control of where your minions are on your lane as a top laner, you're doing your job really well. If you can't control your minions as a top laner, really try, because that's the big difference between good top laners, bad top laners. Freezing minions in top lane is a big deal, as well as bot lane, and just controlling where it is. Because if you have your minions constantly pushing a tower, it makes someone on the enemy team have to deal with it. Otherwise, that's a tower gone by minions. And you never really want that to happen, because if a tower goes by minions, that's gold going to the enemy team, that's map pressure because the tower's gone, and that's XP and gold wasted because the tower will be killing the minions while they are killing it as well. Warwick returns to top lane, and I don't really know where the enemy team is, so I'm going to ward that bush and return basically to fight him. I am a level ahead, so I do have a small advantage. Do a bit of damage to him, as well as taking the farm. With the Ravenous Hydra, I do that AoE damage just by auto-attacking, so it allows me to push as well as doing harass on him. Pop the Ravenous Hydra, gaining a little bit more AD bonus. Going to clear this wave. Now, I am being a bit careful here, but I do notice the Udyr on the map right at the bottom. This is why I go on the Warwick right now, because I noticed the Udyr's bot lane, and I want to fight, this Warwick. So everybody on the map is relatively accounted for. Bot lane, you can see on the minimap, they're Ram Dragon. Mid lane, Cassiopeia was just mid. Now Warwick is going to come and try and steal the big golem, which he does do with a Q. But I do get some harass on him, and I'm going to continue to push. Now the enemy team is on Drake right now, which is not great. My team is collapsing on it, but they do it too quick, and they do end up getting it. I go deep on tower, and Warwick does ult me into tower. Now, I probably could still kill this Warwick right here, potentially, if he does decide to fight me. But he doesn't decide to fight me, he decides to back off. So again, just doing a bit of damage on him. He's relatively low on mana, which once he runs out of mana, he won't be able to do anything to me. Now, I do decide to run away, as Udyr was red side, the enemy red side, so he may be working his way up. And with this blood scent on me, it does mean they have vision of me. It runs out, and I base as soon as it runs out. And I think I'm going to pick up my tier 2 boots, which will be the Mercury Treads, as they do have relatively high CC on the enemy team. They have the Cassiopeia ult and slow. They have the Lulu knock-up. They have the Warwick ult, that type of thing. All that will help. The tenacity will help, all of that. Cassio nearly dies. Udyr works his way into mid. As you can see, he does a lot of damage, and he probably is going to pick up a double kill. Caitlyn ult comes in. I come in to just try and save the fiddle. And yeah, he starts to back off. But you're about to see how much damage he does. I'm full health, he's half health. So here we go. Look how much damage this guy does. It's insane. Now, I've got a relatively high shield. But I am brawling him. Don't know where Warwick is, so I do decide to back off. But this guy would probably kill me anyway. He's tanky and does a lot of damage with Phoenix. So it's a brilliant combination. This Udyr has built really well. But I do actually want to bait our fight. As you can see, the Vayne is moving in and the Fiddle's back. So here we go, baiting out the fight and get the kill. 150 gold for myself and a death for the Udyr because he was a bit greedy. Overall, pretty good. Going to base again. Now, I do base quite a bit in this game. But it's okay, I can't really do anything on this health. I can't return to top lane because the Warwick could probably kill me with an Ignite ultimate with Q. So I do decide to base and then work my way back up top. Top tower might go soon as the Warwick is constantly pushing as much as he can himself. But as you can see, he is a single target. He's not doing AoE. He can't push it that quick, the wave that quick. Sure, he has attack speed with W. Sure, he can probably one-shot a minion with Q, but he's still not going to do that quick. Head up to top. He actually backs off quite early, which allows me to just clear the wave. As you can see, I clear the wave really quick with his Ravenous Hydra, as well as my Q when I decide to use it. Pick up all the CS in that wave, and basically just going to head back and just keep pushing this wave towards the tier 2 of the enemy. And then I might look for a roaming opportunity. Now, my favourite top laners, a few people have asked me what my favourite champions into certain roles. Now, I wouldn't call Riven one of my favourite champions at top lane. I'd kind of say my favourite champions top are kind of Zac. It's hard to say. Renekton, Singed, them kind of champions. Cassiopeia, I find her randomly. Now, she does ult me. I tried to go behind her, but unfortunately couldn't get it. But I am going quite deep, and I do pick her up. Now, I'm going through the tower as I do see there is a Warwick and an Udyr there. But I am running into the Caitlyn and the Lulu. But these guys I am less scared of. And I don't think the Caitlyn even noticed me because she didn't turn to fight. So we go just trying to back off as much as I can. Now, the Vayne is in a really bad position here, so I don't really know what she's doing. She's basically alone. So I go quite deep on these two, get the stun on both of them, and then the Caitlyn doesn't really think, ease back into the middle of me. I back off, but then I'm going to flash on top of them and W both of them so they're both stunned. So I'm going to go quite, balls deep on them, get the kill onto the Caitlyn and continue. Get the kill onto the Warwick, and that's a double kill for me, really low. Use my E and going to resume hitting a minion just for lifesteal. Overall, quite good play by me. I kill the enemy AD carry. That's kind of what my job is as a hyper carry on Riven. Now, normally that isn't really the top laner's job, but as a Riven, I am making it my job. This is what I want to do. I want to go for the backline. I want to kill the squishies. I'm not amazing against tanks as a Riven, but as I said, I am really good against squishies. I really will kill them quick. Now, the rest of my team are going to Baron straight away. I want to push this tower, this minion really quick, and then head to Baron, because then they'll have to deal with that wave and probably want to suspect Baron until it's too late. So I'm going to head over there. These three are doing it. Fiddler's making his way in. And we will do this Baron relatively quick with a Vayne, a Nunu, and a Fiddle, as well as myself doing quite a bit of damage. So we go picking up the Baron, and they ward it as soon as it dies. So free Baron for us, pretty good. Going to base up here, got 2100 gold, but I do look into the shop and I do notice I want to get my last whisper, and it's 2300. I haven't got 2300 yet, so I'm going to cancel the base and head over to Wolves, pick up the Wolves, and then get my last whisper. Armor pen on Riven's pretty good. As you know, the Warwick has Frozen Heart, so that's quite a lot of armor. The Udyr's got the Iceborne Gauntlet, so that again is quite a lot of armor. And they might have an Aegis or something in there, so I want to really get through that armor and trying to do as much damage as I can. So I'm a bit short, but I am going to stay around. It's okay to wait around a bit of gold. I think it's a bit, when it's too much to wait, about 30 gold to wait for is a bit too much. 20 is pushing it. 10, 15 is fine to wait for. So this time I do end up waiting for about 20 gold, which is about 10, 15 seconds. Without GP10s, obviously. Head back up to top lane. Now we do have Baron. So I really want to quickly push this wave up top and then head up with my team somewhere. We've got the Baron, we need to use it. A lot of teams fall into the trap of having the Baron and not being able to use it. Now, to counter a Baron is simply push as, split push. Send someone bot, send someone mid, send someone top, and just keep pushing the waves. It's okay one of you dies, where if you group and team fight, it will mean that you all die, potentially. Warwick's coming around the back, trying to, get a flank on our team, and ends up just running through basically nothing, and he gets away. The enemy team are going a bit aggressive right now. The Vayne is not in an amazing position. She is by herself, but they do end up going around the corner. I get the stun on both of them, getting quite a lot of damage onto them. I do take quite a bit of damage myself. Fiddle ult goes down. That is one big Udyr with the Lulu ultimate. And here we go. Team fight's broken out. Not a great Cassiopeia ult. I'm going to head into the team fight. I'm going to protect the Vayne right now, which I do by killing the Udyr. Kill the Lulu in the progress. I think I just ignited her to finish her off. And there we go. We pick up the kills. Hook onto the Caitlyn and finish off the Caitlyn. Triple kill for the Vayne, double kill for myself. So there's the, both hyper carries kind of getting fed. Get that one tower. I'm going to continue to the first inner inhib tower and probably end up getting an inhib. Now, obviously, fighting 5v5 with a team that has Baron is never a good choice. They didn't do a very good job of that fight. They did actually force that fight in a way where they should have just stayed passive. They have quite good wave clear. They have a Cassiopeia that wave clears really well with W and Q. So I would have just been a bit more patient than they were then. Going to head over to their red, seeing if it's up, and it is up, so that's a nice red for myself. Red buff on Riven's really good. Really good for basically sticking onto somebody, as it does give you the slow as well as the extra damage. Pick that up and then head top lane. Quite a big wave, so I will pick up most of this gold and make it push. Again, as I will say, I am really trying to drive that point home. Push the lane and then help your team. Don't leave your top lane if it's not pushed, unless it is an absolute emergency. Unless your jungler's running towards your lane, about to die, but you can save them, but you will have missed few CS. That doesn't matter. Next item I want to pick up is my GA. Now, I am 914, surprisingly. I was even surprised when I looked how many kills I was. It kind of just sprung up on me that I had 9 kills somehow. But I do want to pick up my GA, basically because they will probably start focusing me in team fights, and I don't want that to happen. Well, if it does happen, I want a backup plan. I don't really want to die this game that much. I've only died once, and that was to the first blood, which I had a complete dirt moment, and then played pretty good. Now, I want to one-shot this Cassiopeia. If she comes anywhere near this bush, I'll be able to kill her straight away. But she doesn't. She decides to back up. Maybe she thought, oh, where's Riven? Something like that. So she does back off. Now, I'm going to push this wave up to the tier 2 up top lane, and probably take this tower quite easily for free. Push the wave. Now, mid lane, something's going on. The Udyr isn't around, but the Vayne somehow gets a kill on the Caitlyn by herself. So well played to the Vayne. Gets a nice free kill there. Push the wave again. Nunu's on his way up, helping to get this tier 2 top lane. We're opening up the map. As you can see, there is quite a lot of minions bot lane, but that isn't really going to stop us pushing elsewhere. Now, as you can see, the Warwick is taking hella damage by the Vayne, and here we go. The Udyr was distracted with myself, and are you ready for the great chase? Here we go. The game is in our favour, so we do decide just to go for a bit of a fun chase. I've seen something very similar to this on Reddit, League of Legends, and the Udyr does end up getting away. So we're going to chase him a little bit, and I actually do give up. I don't think we're going to get him. Now, I did actually cancel it just in case he started running up again, but here we go. He is still running. Manbed Pig, crazy Manbed Pig, still running. Now, I have got enough gold for GA right now, so I will probably go back relatively soon. He's still running, and he's gone. So he does get away. So well played by the Udyr. Using Udyr, the champion, pretty well. That's what you do on Udyr. You distract them. Now, if we didn't chase them, we'd probably take an inhib. We would probably, easily take an inhib there at top lane. But we do go for the greedy chase, which you could probably call bronze tunnel visioning. But at the end of the day, we are quite ahead in this game, so we just have a bit of fun. But it ends up we don't get the kill, so well played to him. Picked up my GA, which will help me quite a bit. Not getting focused, that type of thing. Gonna head down the mid lane. I don't really need to go top anymore. We just want to pressure the map. If we can get a team fight going, that's great, as we could probably easily ace these guys. Now, the Udyr is going to head over to the blue. Now, I still believe this Udyr would be relatively low health. There's my clarification that he's there. So I pop the ultimate before I go in, but bam, he's full health. How the hell is this guy full health? I have no idea, but somehow he is. I am doing relatively nice damage to him, but then the rest of their team show up. So here we go, ready for dirt moment number 2. I fail my flash, so yay me. GA pop with Fiddle ult, so that does relatively keep me safe. Thresh Lantern, and I do get away. So I'm not going to claim that I did this on purpose, as I didn't. I went to kill the Udyr that I thought he was on low health, but he wasn't. So we go, I'm going to get a nice kill on the Udyr. Finally, he's dead. Yay, we killed him. So now I'm legendary, or I have been for a few kills now, but now I am 10-1. And picking up all that CS, just having that lovely lifesteal. Obviously, my GA is now popped. Don't know what the Nunu was doing over there, but going to try and do a bit of the damage to this tier 2. These guys go quite balls deep. I do come in with Riven Lantern, and I do get the stun onto the Warwick. Going in to try and get this kill. My ult is nearly up, and use it for the second time. And there we go, got the ace. Going to head over to the mid side just to get this regen going with my Ravenous Hydra lifesteal. Going to get that, and then these minions will head off to the base towers. Obviously, there is the Lulu that will kind of try and stop that. Now, my gold is, slowly accumulating again. I've got nearly 1,300. I'm not entirely sure what I build next. I think it might be Black Cleaver, potentially. Black Cleaver is a pretty good item on Riven. Now, I haven't got enough for Black Cleaver yet, so let's see what I actually decide to pick up. Now, I remember, because this game I did about an hour ago, I remember waiting here quite often like, oh, what am I going to do? Is anything going down? Am I going to get any gold soon? Fiddle is soloing Baron. I'm going to quickly see how much, how long he's doing that for. So yeah, never spend as long time as I am right now. This is a complete waste of time. I'm never going to get enough gold to either get my BF sword or the Black Cleaver, so I just pick up another Vamp Scepter and head over helping Baron. Bot lane, that is. There's a skirmish going on. As you can see, the Wild Warwick is coming for a kill. Da, 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 da. Ultimate into basically trying to kill the Thresh. Now, on Vent, it was hilarious right now. Tom, or Patsy, was basically going, Huz, where are you? Help me. I'm like, I'm at Baron. And he's like, oh, I hate you. But yeah, I just went over to Baron, picking up actually the kill on Baron. So 25 gold for me. Yay. He does pick up the kill, which he did have oracles, but oh well, we got a Baron for it. And the end of the day, it was quite funny. Push the top lane again, I do think this is the only open lane. We have bot lane inhib, we have mid lane inhib, so now we want the top lane inhib. Pick up this tier 2, it's relatively low already. So here we go, I'm going to pick it up. And one auto attack by myself and it goes down. The enemy red buff is up, so I'm going to head over there and pick it up, I believe. And it's not. So, don't know where that went. Obviously someone picked it up, probably the Caitlyn. Going to push the top lane a bit. Now, we're 3v potentially 5 here. So we do decide to actually back off. Now, one thing you have to learn with League of Legends is when to abandon your team. This is when to abandon your team. I'm casually farming the race and he's gone. No amount of help I would have done would have saved him. And yeah, I'm going to try and do something onto the Udyr. Vayne turns up doing a lot of damage. And we're going to, and we're going to try and do as much as we can. Now I'm stuck in the middle of 5 of them or so. I'm dead. So that's my second death of the game. Not much I could have done there. Maybe just simply run away when Fiddle was getting killed, potentially. But in the end of the day, a second death's okay. Nearing this stage of the game, they do get the full amount of bonus on me, as obviously I was legendary. But well, it happens. Now this is how useful a Nunu mid is. Now, as you could probably hear that I wasn't very passionate about a Nunu mid. And ready, you can do this every 10 odd seconds. Bam! Every 10 seconds he can do it. It's a fair amount of damage, but every 10 seconds he doesn't have any harass really, he doesn't have much poke. He has basically all in, your E and your ultimate, and you're all in them. So that's kind of why I don't really like AP Nunu mid. He's an okay top laner, don't get me wrong. Against bruises he can work because he has the sustain, he's the attack speed slow, that type of thing. So we just want to push the bot wave, and the top wave is actually like getting quite a lot of minions. Now we do want to end this game relatively soon, as with a Nunu mid, he does really drop off. Like as you can see, his items, he's got no CDR, he hasn't got health percentage as a Nunu. That's why we were saying about Leandre's. Leandre's is pretty damn good on Nunu, as well as CDR, like Athene's, that type of thing, is really good on him if you were to build him AP. Going to go top wave and push this, and then we're going to group for the final kind of push to win the game. Both of us are just going to quickly push this. If I can get this wave pushing, that would be great. My GA has come back up, so that is brilliant for what will probably be the last fight of the game. And there we go. I'm pushing that wave, and I'm going to head back, to mid. I end up, I think, pinging where we want to push, just to let the Nunu and the Vayne know, as them two aren't on communication with us. Although Patsy, who is the support, does know this AD relatively well, playing a few games with him earlier in the day. Push the wave as a team. Now my CS nearing the later stage of the game, has picked up quite a bit. I'm at 250 odd at 38 minutes, which is okay. CS does tend to drop off later in the game. As I will say earlier in the game, or did say, my CS wasn't great around the 10-12 minute mark. But it does pick up, which is good. Now we notice Lulu and Caitlyn are this side, and she does run down, which basically delays them helping their team. So we're going to pick up these 2 free inhibs. Nice and easy. Not much harass going on there. And we're basically just stalling for minions right now, or waiting for them to engage on us. You're about to see Crazy Man Bed Pig run, and he gets fed by the Fiddle. And here we go, last fight of the game incoming. Fiddle ult comes in. Here we go, having a big fight. I'm just basically in the middle, just trying to wreak havoc. Now, they're not focusing me, one of 2 reasons. They can't, in a way, because we have a tank line, but also, I've got GA, so they don't really. I'll go deep onto the Caitlyn and pick up the kill. Double kill by myself, pick up the rest of the team, and simply that is the game. We're going to pick up these towers, use the lantern to get back into the the mix. Now we don't have any minions, so we are going to be tanking these. Have my Riven shield, which is relatively high right now. It's a couple of hundred of health. Backing back out with Riven shield, managed to survive, and here we go. Going for the Nexus. So there's the game, guys. Played okay. Few pointers here and there on Riven. Obviously, always the attack reset. My build was unique, I'd say. Pretty good against a single target pusher like Warwick. Hope you guys enjoyed this and keep playing League of Legends.